All right, to enter a system of equations in your calculator, to have the calculator do the solving for you, you do the following. You're going to hit the second and the matrix, which is x to the negative 1. And you are going to scroll across to where it says edit and hit enter. It's going to ask you how many rows and columns. So if you look at your paper, you have 2 rows and 3 columns. So in your calculator, you're going to enter 2 by 3. And then in the columns, you're going to enter the x, which is 2, the coefficient of y, which is negative 4, and then the answer of what it's supposed to be equal to, which is 13. And then you're going to enter 4, negative 5, and 8. So notice in this paper, these are the x coefficients, the y coefficients, and the answer. And that's what I'm going to enter in my matrix. Then I'm going to go back to the home screen, and I'm going to go to the matrix folder again, or the matrix menu, and I'm going to go to math, and I'm going to pick the choice RRF. That's choice B right there. So you pick that, and your home screen should look like RRF with an open parentheses. You're going to go back to the parentheses, second x to the negative 1, and you're going to pick that matrix that you just created, and you're going to hit enter. And look at that. This last column right there, that's giving you the answer. It's saying 1x equals negative 5.5 and 1y equals negative 6. So this is your answer right there. Let's try another one. We have a system y equals negative 1/3 x plus 9 and negative 2x plus 2y equals negative 6. We have one small problem there, and that is that it's not currently in the row column matrix form. So when I go back to this matrix and I go and I edit this first matrix, again, I'm going to put a 2 by 3 column, but notice how I have a y equals negative 1/3 x. I'm going to pull that negative 1/3 to the other side, so it's going to be positive 1/3 x plus 1y equals 9. And then negative 2, 2, and negative 6. So basically, I'm rewriting this equation right here, 1/3 x plus y equals 9. Then I can do the exact same thing I did before. I go back to the home screen, I go to second x negative 1, I pick math, I pick RRF, and I pick second x negative 1 again and pick the matrix I created, and you see that it looks like that. I hit enter, and there's my answers. When x equals 9, y equals 6, that is my solution to this systems. Let's look at one other thing. I'm going to skip ahead to system 5 here because I wanted to make sure that we looked at a system of 3 linear equations. The process is exactly the same of entering this in your calculator. What we're only going to do is, when we go to this key, we're going to say second x negative 1. In other words, I'm picking a matrix. But this time, when I go to edit it, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So 3 rows and 4 columns. And so that's what I'm going to have to tell my calculator. I'm going to have to take this calculator and I'm going to say, make it a 3 by 4 matrix. You see the 4th row kind of gets cut off the screen. That's okay. You'll be able to scroll over there. So let's look at this one more time. We have 1, 2, negative 3, and negative 3. So in the first one, that's what I'm going to get. And 1, 2, negative 3, negative 3. It kicks me down to the next row, which was 2, negative 5, 4, and 13. And it kicks me down to the next row, which was 5, 4, negative 1, and 5. So if you look again, this was my system, 3 variables, 3 equations. I come back over here, everything else is the same. Second quit, I'm going to go back to the second x negative 1, which gives me the matrix key. I'm going to go over to math. I'm going to scroll down to get the RRF. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to go to second negative 1 again and pick that matrix that I picked. I get enter, and there you go. That last column gives it to me. Instead of x and y, I have x equals 2, y equals negative 1, and z equals positive 1. So this last column right here is my answer. And that's the way to solve a system of equations, linear equations, using a calculator. Hope you like that.